We in High Speed Rail America Club know how important rail history is to America. So what better way to showcase it than coming over here to the Gold Coast Railway Museum? Let's take a look. This is the Gold Coast Railroad Museum. Based in South Miami, the land the museum is on was once a blimp naval station that patrolled the Florida waters for German subs during World War II. In 1945, a hurricane came by, caused a fire, and burned down the gigantic hangars. Years later, the tracks on this base and the land was converted to what is now the museum for memorabilia of the Golden Age, the lifestyle, and of course, lots and lots of trains. It's a museum that comes to life unlike any other, where children young and old can walk through history and move with it. There's even a huge collection of model trains here, and the staff is by far the most passionate workers I've ever seen in the museum, who will gladly chat with you and teach about the exhibits.
Scale, guess how much they can cost?
Thousands.
$3,000.
3,000?
And they have silver, gold, and diamonds for headlights. Yeah, this one doesn't have the diamond, but you can.
One exhibit you must visit is the Ferdinand Magellan, the rail car used by Presidents Roosevelt, Truman, and Reagan. The tour guide of this car is Barbara Birmingham, and she knows everything about the Magellan and much of railroad history.
Magellan was available. So, they completely armored the car.
Oh.
The door came from a bank vault from a New York bank and was reinforced. It's all bulletproof windows.
Wow.
And I'll show you a sample of that when we get there. The outside of the car is armored with a 5/8-inch steel panels. That was in case there was a railroad accident to the Secret Service. With it. 2 escape hatches, one above your head.
Wow.
Obviously came from a submarine.
Wait a second, let Barbara finish. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Barbara.
she has a question. And there's one on the wall of the shower of the bathroom.
Great.
And I'll point that out to you.
Okay.
It's the kitchen. The tour guide, Barbara, she was telling us how they used to have ice underneath the car, and the air conditioning before, since they didn't have really Freon to use it, they would put the ice underneath the car and copper tubes would bring it up and then shoot the cold air into the whole entire car. So the ingenuity back then, my God. She was also telling us as well how they restored the paint to the original color how it was before. I mean, just the whole history of this car. I mean, I'm sitting somewhere where FDR and Truman and Reagan all sat in this very room. Let me just take a moment to just like take this in. My God. What makes everything better is friends. And of course, you can't forget Tolga, Syed, Alex, and Darius. We spent a lot of time in the model railroads building because, well, Florida weather loves to rain on every day you want to go outside. But that doesn't stop your visit when you can spend all day playing with the trains and looking at the models. And when it isn't raining, you can look at one of the other 30 trains and cars the museum has to offer, including this bi-level California Zephyr straight out of the 1950s. The air conditioning on it, still working, unlike the Amtrak Silver Meteor Darius and I took early summer. And since we mentioned it, we were in amazement at all of the amenities that were offered even back then. A lot hasn't really changed in the layout of the rooms and seats, but the service was what made it what it's known for. A lot of trains from companies of the past are here, like Seaboard Airline, Atlantic Coastline, and of course our favorite Florida East Coast. For my whole life living in South Florida, I haven't even heard of the Gold Coast Railway Museum until recent. It's located right next to the Miami Metro Zoo. However, people would rather see the stinking monkeys rather than some awesome trains. If you want to see the monkeys, I'll go to Toys R Us. It goes to show that sometimes the cooler things, well, are the ones that are truly unique and not so known about. There's nothing like this in South Florida. A museum that lets you walk on history, drive history, sit in history, and hey, it's less expensive than the zoo. So if you do have a chance, please take a moment to visit this museum to see what not only just machine, but man and machine was able to achieve. Signing off.